Alright. Alright, we did it. We did it. It took... oh man, it took a while, but we got here. We're here with Infinite Guideline Station, 5 mana, Wooburg, one of each color. When it enters, you get a tapped 2/2 colorless robot for each multicolored permanent you control. And then Station, which is crew, but forever it just stays crewed at that charge counter count. When you get to 12, it becomes a 7/15 flyer, and when it swings, you draw for each multicolor permanent. So it's kind of like Niv Mizzet, except instead of getting the cards immediately, like just simply casting Niv Mizzet and stuff, you have to station this, and then it has to attack for what is kind of the same as, just for, which one? Is it this one? Is it this one? Yeah, this one. So it's like you get your multicolored cards immediately, and, you know, there you go. Yay. So, I don't know. There's a lot that you have to do to get this to actually swing. I've never seen anyone swing with it. Someone got kind of close, but it got naturalized, so it went back to square zero. It does not go back into play with the station counters, so if it dies, you're basically back to square zero. It's really, really, you're asking a lot. That's my point. You're asking a lot. But I'm running a bunch of multicolored permanents. It doesn't work. Oh, that's another thing. You can't just play multicolored instants and sorceries. They have to be permanents that hang out in play. Just everything that this card wants you to do in 1v1 historic brawl style formats is just not, you know, like, people have dark rituals and mana drains, and you have this, so it's really an uphill battle. So you see there's 101 cards in here. I'm not running Leyline. I know it seems like it makes a ton of sense to play this card, but when everything is kind of already a multicolored permanent, I don't really care about this. It does turn the 2/2s into multicolored permanents, but I'm telling you right now, I'll be blown away if I would ever have a scenario that this draws an egregious amount of cards like that. Like, if it, you know, you have 4 robots and they're all multicolored and you swing finally and you draw 8 cards, like, that's great. But you also have to keep in mind the cards you're drawing aren't just the ones that are like, you know, you could draw 8 cards and some of them, like, your Baleful Strix on turn 12 is kind of weird, and there's just a chunk of these cards that it's hard to have a balance of setup cards to have the initial 2/2 spam, and then also have payoff multicolored cards, so you can, like, draw into something that is game winning that isn't just a setup card that this card cares about. So you're being attacked at like 10 different angles with trying to have this text box work. So I am running Immersion Ultimatum. Any Sultai deck probably just wants to run this. I don't have the craziest things to hit, really. Obviously, Expropriate is disgusting, but like Tooth and Nail isn't in here. Stuff like that. And trying to make room for cards that this cares about, and also cards that are just really good at winning any given game. You know, it's being pulled apart. Obviously, the Godo Helm of the Host, I'm still on this. It's something you can actually Immersion Ultimatum. I don't know if I've ever played a black deck with this yet. I can't remember. But with Creation of Avacyn, you put this under there, and this is actually potentially better than Gristlebrand as an out for Creation. You also lose less life. So this is actually kind of interesting. Once it comes into play, you would likely have the mana to do it. So I really find that to be worthwhile here. Bloom Tender is the only thing I crafted for this deck. It's probably going to tap for more than green, you know? Same with Fey Burrow Elder. So I got a bunch of ramp in here. Maybe just for the sake of playing this card. Again, I really don't think you need to play it. I really don't think you need this. I think maybe it's even just a bait. Like, again, most of the things you're playing are already multicolored. It doesn't care if it's 5. I'm not running domain spells. I could, but I'm not really doing that. I would probably argue this might just still be better than something like Baleful Strix. So, see, I don't even know if that's true. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sold on this. I'm not sold on this. But someone's going to yell at me if I don't try it. So I'm going to drop Baleful Strix and actually just try this card if changed my mind. And for the lands, there's a bunch of Triomes, Command Tower. No Cavernous Souls. Don't really like it here. It's colorless a lot of the time, and we're not really trying to have that be an issue. The green shock lands and all but the Jeskai Triomes and all the fetch lands, and then the busted lands of Gemstone and Ancient Tomb. Alright. This is, I think, the first time this has come up, which, to be honest, it can't come up too often. There's not many examples. But commanders that don't have generic in the casting cost, those commanders in, say, EDH or whatever, would always still just play Sol Ring, right? It helps you with commander tax at the very worst. If your deck had literally 0 generic mana costs in it, you would still play Ancient Tomb. Even for the very, like, at its worst, doing commander tax is still just worth it. I think this card is insane. And again, I don't know if I said it last time, I probably did. This is probably the best card in the format. I don't think there's anything that would make me feel that way otherwise. It's better than Dark Ritual, it's better than Mana Drain. You can't be countered, it's nigh unkillable. It has game-winning lines on turn 1, which I haven't quite seen. I think we might have had one game where our opponent was over it immediately upon seeing Ancient Tomb Arcane Signet into, like, Llanowar Elves. And like, alright, well, the game is just over. But we'll see. Alright, so let's send it like this. I want I wanted Witness Protection and Unable to Scream, because 1 minute and even kind of Chained to the Rocks, actually. Could do that too. Just 1 minute answers to things that just win before you get to even begin playing the game with your commander. So that might be something we have to look at. But for now, it's just like Reflection Net, Aegis, and Profane Procession, because who doesn't like a Profane Procession? It's multicolored. It's good, right? Surely. Alright. We're gaming. We're gaming. I can play Tireless Provisioner turn 2, but it isn't doing that much. Okay, that makes life a bit easier. Am I gonna mill myself? I don't really have to. I don't have to. Let's get the black, green, so Obzon, Ubzun. Bear with me, opponent. Actually, let's get the Sultai one, because we have Ultimatum as a card in our deck. I could have held on to this for the Provisioner, but then I'd have to mill a card, and... No, that was a line. That was a line I could have taken. Okay. Sure? Let's actually play the Compounding Threat. Let's do the Scaling Issue. I like the Scaling Issue here. I think this is worth it. If I'm not going to draw a land. It feels better than Nicol Bolas. But this could also been something, because I don't have this next turn. A fetch land would be the best draw, probably. I'm also running out of time. Yeah, fetch land would be the best draw. Definitely. Alright, well, we didn't get it. Can play this, and then just pray we don't lose to board wipe. There is no reason to shock myself. I don't know if I can straight up lose next turn, but it certainly feels close. I'm gonna mill myself with the Malt Tender. The Tessa could irritate the Tamiyo player, but I mean, if they have a sweeper, I don't know if that... Alright, we did it. We did it. Look at that. Something like that. Oh, right, that was another thing I forgot to talk about. I completely forgot to talk about it. I went back to the deck builder because some of the cards felt kind of... But yeah, these... You're never truly, quote-unquote, color screwed in 5-color anymore because of green, right? You just put the green cards in your deck, and then the ramp spells color fix you very quickly. That's why it looks like this. I think this is far and away the most successful idea when it comes to 5-color strategies. You just have the green opener so you can get into the multicolored cards later. That's good in all junctures. But yeah, I was taking out some cards like Minsc and Boo for more ramp spells so I could reasonably have just solid openers, because you just have to do that. No question about it. Oh, come on, Garuk. Come on, buddy. It's not Bristly Bill or anything, you know. It's totally not this card. I'm going to assume they mulligan for a 1-drop, yep, because that's all you can do. Does it matter which one? Not really. So we'll play that one. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, the Triome Tapland thing is definitely problematic right now. Not gonna lie to you. You have another Mana Dork? Oh, it's a fight effect, so I just straight up lose? Oh, no, it's not. Okay. Huge. Okay, what does that do? It lets me play Nicol Bolas? Has to get white. So white, green, right? That's the only untapped... Or just a basic plains, which I probably could just get a basic plains at this point. Yeah, for sure. And then play you. Yep, just play this. That's fine. That's fine. This does kind of take us off the Nicol Bolas line for a bit, though. But if I can stop Bristly Bill... Wow, they didn't make a treasure token. That's nuts. Okay. Okay, sure. That, all things considered, wasn't as bad as it could have been. I drew a phenomenal card. Okay. Huge. That was probably one of the best draws. I don't think 1 damage is getting me anywhere. Oh, we're gonna cast it. Oh, it's gonna get cast. They didn't recast Bristly Bill, I don't know why. They could have. Yeah, they could have done that. That's weird. I mean, if you swing with the 5/5, I'm gonna swing with Roxanne, and I don't think you want me to do that. Wow, you just don't care. Alright, fair enough. A bit ballsy, though, but I mean, you know. I like it. I'm down with it. Let's go to attacks first, which I probably should have done to begin with. Okay, things are happening. We're actually doing things. This is crazy. I'm gonna play it super safe and just kill... I'm just gonna kill this. We're just gonna play it safe. Oh, I drew a land too. Oh! I get to play other cards! Oh, that was the best idea ever. Oh my goodness. We're doing things. It's all coming together. It's all coming together. Alright, we could have all... Wait, could I have played my commander there? Actually, I'm not sure. I got too hung up about actually playing this in play. I might have been able to play my commander. Wasn't actually paying attention. Play it next turn. Easy double block here, right? Yeah, I'm just double blocking this. Not even hesitating, just boop. Don't even care. Okay. Can I put more into play first? Are these black and green? Oh, they are. Oh. Okay, so we can play this. And then we play this. Oh. Oh, the robots. Oh my goodness. And swing. This is peak gaming. Look at this. Look at all of this happening right now. I can't believe this is happening. I mean, to be fair, my commander wasn't the game-winning play, but hey, 7 2/2s is no joke. It does not... It, like, actively plays against itself. Kami into... Oh, opponent. Not enough here. What about here? This might make the cut? Sure. Okay. I mean, sure. So, untapped, swing, mill. Alright. Eidolon? What the? I think we play the scaling threat as soon as possible. Although Nicol Bolas is viable. Alright, look at that. Well, they have their best card. Like, literally the best card in Grist, turn 1. That's not ideal. Okay, maybe we can do something. For real? For real, for real? Opponent surveilled away this thing off the top randomly. Sure. Opponent does nothing, also short. We play Aragorn? No, that's weird. We just play this, right? Yeah. I'm gonna play this. That's what we're gonna do. Opponent looks for a snowland. That's interesting. I'm gonna hold off on attacking in case they have some wild thing that, like Gitrog monster, right? I don't think I lose to reanimate. First they have it. Random mill, by the way. Okay, yep, you got it. Just randomly have everything. Yeah, I play Roxanne. It's the most threatening thing in my hand, so. And I'm not gonna trade, so I'm just gonna swing. Oh, that's perfect. I drew something that's actually worse than a land. Like it's a truly completely dead card. Grist has... Can I play this first? 1, 2, 3... I cannot? Because of the colors? Yeah, I just can't. Because the double colorless doesn't benefit me. Alright. Play... Put that here. Scry away that. Nicol Bolas has text on it. Better than a random draw. Okay, now we can play this because of the Elder. Get rid of the 5/5. Okay, are we turning it around here? We can station with these. Sure. I'm sure there's always a reason to actually play this, so I'm just gonna play it for real. Oh, I missed 4 damage. Ooh, actually a huge problem. Alright, never mind. I just threw my Titanic growth out the window. I forgot it had text on it. That's my bad. Completely forgot about that. Totally and utterly forgot. Shieldred is nuts. Of course, my opponent plays against someone with tokens right when they play Shieldred, but no surprise there, I guess. We did it. We beat the turn 1 flare grist. Okay. I could get a forest, but I can get red green. Red. Well, no. Green. Blue? Green. Yeah, green. I'm actually gonna get this because of Uro. I'm gonna get this. I think it's a little too early for me to assess. I don't 100% like Station, but it's more interesting than Crew. As your commander, it's like big oof, but you know that's fine. All right, we're gonna do red or white. Probably white. This can portable hole anything, right? Yeah, just hole whatever I'd play turn 1 anyways. So here, do I want to blow that up? Okay, yeah, we do. We do want to blow that up. I want my card back. This the lit halfling has value. Of course I mill the Helm of the Host. You know, let's be real, why wouldn't I mill the Helm of the Host? Only makes sense. I can't swing. So I can... Can I Uro? I need either a green or a blue. Because I don't have enough. I guess I can discard Godo. Oh look, it's the best card in their deck. No way. It's literally the best card in this strategy. Unbelievable. Love to see it. Oh, I could just grab Roxanne. Okay, that's actually huge. We're back in it. Not losing the Soul Herder. Ureni has protection from white. That is something. That definitely is something. This is ward what, too? It's blue-white? Yeah, okay. Combat? Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can cast Uro. I should probably no, that's not how that works. Let's do this. Okay, that got confusing. Wait, why is that happening? Green. Green. Okay, that's why that's happening. Because there's not enough green. Alright. I'm short-circuiting. You'll have to excuse me. Let's just get a land for Ureni. Let's do this. Let's do that. Get rid of the Godo combo. They put their commander in the command zone? What do you mean? Oh! Oh no, they did. Oh, that's kind of tragic. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, I didn't notice that. Alright, so we killed it anyways. I mean, they saved the other one, I guess, but still, yeah, that's obviously not ideal. To be fair, even if they didn't, it's only making a 3-3. Soul Herder is still the issue I would always rather have dealt with. Like, if this was in play right now, I don't think the 3-3s would be super crucial, but yeah, you would much prefer to have it in play than not. Although, you'd have to protect it again, because Roxanne is still in play. So they would have to do it again, but in this exact spot, they would have actually had another 3-3, which could matter. We'll find out. That could actually matter. Let's go find anything at all. This thing. Alright, so Ureni is counterable, right? You can still counter it? Can I cast it, even? Oh, I can. Okay. Okay. Sure. Just play that as a land. Oh, I can play Expropriate, too. Swing. Stop the 3-3 madness. I don't straight up win with this, but it's, like, super close. Most people just concede when you cast it, so... Yep. Most people just concede when you cast it. Alright. I mean, Soul Herder. It happens all the time when I play the Flicker Commanders. There's like 4 or 5 blue-white Flicker Commanders, and this is just better than all of them. Most of the time, you would always just put this in the command zone. It's Tanic again. Last time... Actually, the last 2 or 3 times I played against this, Tanic hasn't mattered. They're on the play with the best thing in the universe. That's not great. I do not have blue mana to put this on anything. Definitely not ideal. Oh my goodness, they played their commander. No way. They actually played their commander. It actually happened. So, it has to get blue, so it can't get an Avacyn's Pilgrim card. I have Jund and green, so blue, white, anything. Blue, white, black is fine? Yeah, that's fine. Huh. Okay. They must have just drawn that? I don't know. Yeah, they must have just drawn it. Okay, we're going to combat first. I don't normally see that. So a land would be phenomenal. Didn't get it. Just make do with what we got. Could have just not swung. I don't know how much it matters. It becomes an artifact, huh? Didn't actually know that. Never paid attention to it. I'm gonna most assuredly blow that up. I am going to blow that card up. Yeah, that's card advantage. We don't want to see card advantage here. And I guess there's no attack. Alright, more potential card advantage. It's a coin flip thing, but, you know how coin flips go for me, so. We can play this, get a land, play Pilgrim. I don't know, double Aragorn's doing anything. Yeah, we just want to do this. Alright. We're going to lose our multicolored permanent, but I really don't know if 2/2/2s was what I wanted to do that turn. Well, they need something to go with the Mirror March. Doesn't do anything on its own. That is not currently castable. Alright, we didn't instantly lose. That's pretty cool. Yeah, we'll crack this now. Might as well. Get a land out of the deck. Something could potentially happen to my Chromatic Lantern or World Tree, I guess. So, Aragorn into... not really that much. I can sort of still just crew the wagon. I think I will. I don't know why I wouldn't. And then combat. They get their commander back, but they get their commander back, which is a 5-minute investment, right? To do that, it's a 5-minute investment. It is a legendary. It doesn't work with this, so. Oh, or you could just do that, sure. Okay. Alright, well, they're out of cards, and the board can be stabilized, so... if I play Helm of the Host and put it on Aragorn, I feel like that doesn't really do anything. Crewing this the turn you play it is also kind of just weird, but... let's put this here? Can I even swing anyways? I don't think I can. Golos and this. Both of these are good. I can take the exile effect first, I guess. Get some robots that probably won't matter too much. And I can station, but it requires my whole board presence. See, crew 4. And then station. And then kind of lose because I don't have any blockers. Yeah, I don't think that makes sense. I can just station next turn. I can literally do it next turn. I don't have to do it right now. It's also not really drawing that many cards anyways. I'm just at the mercy of my opponent's top deck. That's really what this is. It's like, if they draw something that wins, then I don't think whatever we do this turn matters. 7-15 is not going to change that. Alright, they just top-decked Mythweaver Pock. Of course they did. Wait a minute. Isn't that combo where, like, you get stuck with the Ashaya? Like, they ran out of time and it's just sending it still. What? How do you stop this? How do you get out of this? Can you concede? Okay, you can still concede. Alright, so there's that. There's that. When does it force the draw? Well, you said it was a draw, but like I don't know. When does it become a draw? Like when? They roped out already. They didn't clear the stack and move forward. They didn't force resolve anything. Just stick it out is not a time frame. I got content to make, my guy. What is... wait, 5 minutes? 10 minutes? Okay, there we go. Okay, that actually isn't that long. That isn't that long. After a certain amount of actions. Again, that's not a time frame. Please. Please. I know, it's a draw, I get it. Like, when? Time? If you're used to seeing it, or you see it like once every 2 weeks or something, like, what time frame? I need time frame. That wasn't too bad, though. If it's that short, I would advise people to just not concede. Right? I would advise them not to concede. You can put the stacks however you want, but you'll still have to wait till they... Oh, wait a minute. You would still get stuck, right? If you manually stacked it... Wait, can you manually stack that? Enters... Oh, wait, let me think about my hand. Enters, and then, land trigger, Ashaya trigger, mirror. I do not know if you can put the POC under the ping, because the POC has to enter. But if that works, then yeah, that would be a viable, line there, but I can't confirm nor deny that's how that works. We'll mill a card here. I probably wanted to just fetch land Haro. That was maybe a mistake. We'll see. I wasn't paying too much attention. What are we up against, Brea? So, Mirari's Wake this turn is a lot of mana, but I could just cast Nicol Bolas? No, I can't. I have a white source. Alright, Mirari's Wake it is. Let's get, Temple Garden. Mirari's Wake. Alright, I mean, that's a good card. It's been a while since I played it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to sit through it, it's not a rank format or anything. Alright, they did blow it up. Which I would argue they probably had to. Alright, so we get rid of white, blue, green. Get rid of this, and still not be able to cast... So I get a double swamp. That gets red source. Oh, we can do it. We can. Right? This gets Stomping Ground? Wow, I can cast Nicol Bolas. Look at that. Cool. Look at that. My mana looks kind of goofy now because of that, but, well, that's fine. We'll make do. With Molt Tender, maybe we're just okay. Okay, we drew a really good card, too. Multicolored permanents showing up just in time. But yeah, maybe they could stack it so that the Tanic resolves first. I don't know. I really don't know. My opponent did it so quickly, it seemed like they're familiar with it and chose to stay it out as if it doesn't work like that. And they seemed like they were familiar with the situation. So maybe you can't. Otherwise, I feel like that kind of player would know. Also, we won. We won, by the way. Is this deck multicolored good stuff? Should it not be? I mean, you have to play multicolored cards for your deck to do anything. So I don't know why it wouldn't be a multicolored good stuff deck. You have to play multicolored cards. I wouldn't play multicolored bad stuff. Well, if I can help it. Oh wow, it's a Sauron. Alright. Haven't seen that in... No, actually, we saw one not too long ago. This has to make an untapped land. That's fine. Okay, now it... I guess it doesn't. Sure. Let's get Grixis. Triome. Let's discard this thing. Not likely to resolve when I cast it anyways, and I'm not anywhere near casting it. I like Pock, but I also like treasure tokens, so let's go ahead and do that. Stompies. I'm not going to cast the Psychic Frog. Yes, I am. What am I talking about? Of course I am. Am I crazy? Yeah, you gotta kill the frog. You gotta kill the frog. Wow. Okay, that's the last of the 3 I would have killed. It's not even close. I don't have to eat... Yeah, I don't have to eat anything. We can start here. Okay. Doesn't really change that much, but sure. Yep, no, just pass. Venser? Just bounce the commander over and over? Sure. I guess. I mean, that is probably more reliable than ever trying to station it. I'll give you that. Because that's definitely not going to happen. Okay, so same situation. Actually, I can push more damage playing that first. I will not cast my commander till after combat. I will eat the Siphon Insight, because Crocs is still not happening. Yep. Oh, wait, whoops. Whoops, I said I wanted to eat the Siphon. Chat, I'm dumb. Sorry. Yeah, teleportation circle, that would also be probably ideal. Assuming we want a bunch of random 2/2s that don't feel very exciting, but yeah, you could do that. Haven't really had a concern in that department yet, though. Do you have Wash Away? No? Huh. No, that's not, no. I can station next turn, and then draw, what is it, like 3 cards? 2 cards? If they blow this up randomly, I can make more 2/2s. They have to deal with the board, though. They are just dying. I think Sauron gets them out of it. Okay, they do cast it. Let's go get more mana with Pop. Alright, yeah, they have to chump block with their commander. Right? It doesn't make a... I'm not going to cast a spell, so they have to chump block with this. Technically had draws that would have mattered. One would argue. They sort of exist. It's mono green ignores you again. But I have a better hand this time. Gulta Cereal. Alright. You think you've seen it all. Ah, yes. The on the play ignores you strategy. Love it. Well, I have it too, except I'm not on the play. Green, white. Green, black. Sure. Makes sense to me. I don't think I've seen the Ulamog cereal, no. Eldrazios? Oh, look, it's the same card, too. Crazy. I can kill it. I did draw the card to do as such. 1 into 3 on the play is like the best thing you can do in the format. Let's go here, here. Try to catch back up. Sure. Okay, we didn't lose. Huge. We milled Uro, also huge. We're gonna cast Rampant Growth. Yeah, Johnny's not doing anything, just sitting there. And if they killed it, it's most assuredly not doing anything, so... Let's get a red. Let's find Grixis? No, Abzan. I took that one out, so Grixis. Don't worry, opponent, I can do it. I promise. I'm sorry. Let's get rid of Gemstone Cap. Wait, that's weird. Let's get rid of a Johnny. I don't think a Johnny's doing anything. Oh, wow, really? Okay. I feel like that was one of the slowest games I've ever played. But it's kind of cool to have that many options. And my opponent was over it. I mean, we have a ton of cards here. We didn't lose to the best thing you could do. That's cool. On the play as well. Well, there is a universe in which I discount Goto enough with this card. And then win. Still need 5 mana though after I do that. So that's not 100%. Let's get black green. Yeah. Alright, get in there. Do I choose? Please tell me I choose, right? Yeah. Okay, let's play... Does this have green on it? Green, green. Alright, so we can get a plains here. It's not blowing ourselves up. Let's get red and... just a random assortment of basics. Alright, come on. We're getting there. We're going to do it. We're gonna do it. Okay. Yep. Mirari's Wake is probably a really good card right now. In fact, it's so good it causes me to win next turn if they don't do anything about it. Yeah, I got red in the Junland. Okay. Are we gonna do it? Come on. Land Commander. Land... Come on. Ugh. Alright, well on the bright side, we untapped with the Mirari's Wake, so... I'm going to target the Ornithopter. I'm going to cast this. I'm going to discount this to that, and then I'm going to pass. Alright. They didn't have the interaction I thought they would. The Ornithopter was doing something there, though. I don't know what, but certainly something. I feel like it's a Christmas miracle my opponent is just deciding to not spend their mana when they otherwise could very easily spend their mana. Alright, let's do this. Cast our commander. Okay. I can only have like one counter spell. Alright, we win. Wait, do we? Did I lie? No, we have it. 1, 2. Yep. Yeah, nice mana drain. Get wrecked. Look at that. Get wrecked. Oh, love it. So that explains why my opponent did what they did the turn before as well with that. I probably could have went for it and played around like 1 mana, like a single mana interaction. Oh, wow. Okay, I've played against this person quite a few times. Obviously not with this commander, but I'm curious what it does. This hand is wild. I don't think I can keep it. This hand is... Alright, fine. We have green here, so we can play this game. I don't even have to play it turn 1. I'm really curious what this does. Super curious. Let's get anything, and then into the north. Oh, right, you have to, like, manually do Deathrite Shaman. Let's get red. No. Alright. Dancing on a knife's edge, but we'll see. Or my opponent's just salty that I win and they lose. That works too. I got nothing to do with the shaman. Wait a minute, this doesn't work in colorless. We've been here before. This doesn't actually work. You can't play this in a colorless deck. It doesn't do anything. That's funny. Oh look, it's the best card of the game. No way. Let's do this. Do I have a fetch land? I don't. Tragic. Ah. Oh. I have to pump the brakes? Lame. Okay. Yeah, base fees are removing it? Yeah, I guess so. You can target it with the commander, I guess. That's kind of neat. I would say you probably don't want to, you know, like animate your stuff like that. Alright. Not much to think about here. They can definitely beat Splendor. Because their deck doesn't really care about it. Although maybe it does. Maybe it does. Maybe it does. We'll see. I can pretty easily beat the emblem. I would imagine they're gonna go right for it there. Atali is actually almost lethal on its own. This, again, doesn't actually do anything. It doesn't tap for mana. Oh, no, you can use generic mana. Yeah, never mind. I think that actually works. Okay, so... we haven't played Golos yet. Let's play Golos. Haven't played it yet. Get the old world spaghetti. And then... here... can I pass this? Oh, I can. Nice. There's no... I'm not gonna... no, there's no. They're making a 3/3? Or putting 3 counters on something. One or the other. This has to kill Atali. I think it has to kill Atali. One would argue it must kill Atali. Yeah. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is tapping for I couldn't even tell you how much. It's tapping for I win. Alright. It's tapping for I win cards. Colors. I win. Can also just do that. Alright, well, I completely trampled that deck, but this one is kind of weird. Arcane, I mean, I know you can animate this on your your commander, but like you could just play something that works and also have the artifact. Alright, yeah, we're done. I've had my fill of this. I mean, I like it. I was surprised how many times it came up. Sometimes people concede it before I got to the crew, you know, the 12, but like it was situations where it was going to happen, and then they concede it before I got to do the thing, right? But whenever I was going to do the thing, I probably had a fair amount of threatening things in play. The issue with this, actually, there's a few of them. I can list them off again. I did in the beginning, I guess. After having played, I have a few more. So there's the one thing that it's one of each color and has no generic. So, like, you know, Soul Ring effects and colorless ramp don't help you cast this. Another issue is colorless cards in general aren't multicolored at all, right? The same with just any sort of monocolored thing is just not really doing anything that cares about this specifically. You can go into artifacts more, but there's not actually a lot of multicolored artifacts. And then there's even less that I think are even that worth to play. Another issue is, like, the best thing to do in 5-color decks is green ramp stuff, because the green cards will always fix you into the other colors, so you can just play the green opener into anything beyond, you know, turn, whatever turn that is. The robots are tapped. I feel like they really shouldn't be tapped. I'm not sure why they wanted them tapped. Maybe because they don't want people to immediately station with the robots. If you had, what would that be, like 6 permanents? Yeah, 6 permanents would immediately let you station this. I don't even think that's good anyways. Full stop. So it's kind of unfortunate they're tapped. They make for decent blockers. We never, I think, had 6 permanents anyways. I think the most I ever made was 5 2/2s, which is still, you know, it's a board presence. The decks you play against tend to not care about your 2/2s, and usually if there's a board wipe, you're back to square one. If there's a bounce spell, you're back to square one. If they have a naturalize, like Beseju, that's just uncounterable. I wasn't running any counters or Tails in or Stifle, but Beseju just channels and blows us up because it's an artifact, right? Abrade just blows up your 7/15. You really wish this was not an artifact, trust me, but that isn't the worst thing, because it's still just a creature with no evasion, right? It flies, that's it. It doesn't have ward or anything. It's just gonna get slammed by a ton of removal. I not once ever swung with this, not a single game, which is to be expected. You could go heavy into mid-range multicolored creatures, which I kind of started as. It was like closer to something that Joda or Bard class would like to do, but your commander is really not a good payoff for the red-green or however many colors mid-range multicolored beatdown thing you could try to assemble. Like, your top-end commander is not a great payoff to that, because you have to station this, and that's just damage upwards of 12, if not sometimes more, damage that you're not just throwing in the red zone. You have to tap your creatures to station. And they also don't block, because you tap them to station. It's, like, really rough to, like, do that, it felt. Tall creatures like Pock can kind of get around it, just having one creature do it more once or twice it taps, and then you're just good to go. Those felt like the most ideal things. Kama didn't really do anything. I think I've said it before, Kama's kind of taken the back seat on what you can do at the top end. So It's kind of hard to get away with stuff like that. I still swear by the Godo Helm of the Host thing. I did think about running even more combos like Niv Mizzet and Curiosity, a Sura Rack. We had Emergent Ultimatum, which combos with itself, more or less. There's like combos you can just slide in casually to your 5-color good stuff piles and stuff. Although, okay, saying good stuff piled is, take that with a grain of salt. This is not the direct good stuff pile, because that pile is way less multicolored nonsense. But the games I won, everything did come together. Like, you play a 1-drop, then you play a 2-drop, then you play a 3-drop, and then 4-drop. And if your opponent isn't answering the random things you're throwing into play, they can sometimes just completely swarm your opponent. It doesn't matter if the mana colors... I mean, look at this little chunk of mana right here. It's just nuts. Right? Like, you got Grixis Jund 4-color, not black. Just like... you have to get those in play. But again, green is what lets you sort of get away with anything. If it wasn't for the green shell, you're not looking like this at all. You're just going to look vastly different. You could just play whatever the first sliver wants to do. I mean, you could actually play the first sliver in this deck. And just run that entire exact list with this in the command zone. Maybe you'd still want more creatures to just sometimes crew this up and station it, whatever. But still, like, oof. Just so that's an issue. Another issue is your expensive big multicolored permanents probably were in play after you cast this, so that's just one less 2/2, right? Another issue is you have to play multicolored permanents, so they have to be in play before you play this. Otherwise, it does nothing, right? If you play it and you have some 2/2s, that's great, but if you get your board swept, this is not a planeswalker, right? And then the preceding creatures you play might have to just station or continue to ignore your commander because it struggles to accomplish much, even if it's a 7/15. If you only draw 1 or even 0 cards with it, it's just a 7/15, right? And it's a 7/15 on turn, like, what, 8? Minimum? Sometimes faster. Sometimes truly faster than that, because green, you can actually race to this a bit fast. You could play an aggro deck that has 2 colors in it. Red, green, red, black, maybe red, white. Probably not red, white, actually. Yeah, probably not red, white. Probably not red, blue either. So yeah, like red, green, or red, black predominantly. And then, like, your creatures might just be big enough to crew this sometimes, and then you have enough Rakdos permanents or Gruul permanents in your whatever that looks like beatdown deck to crew this. Or you could just say, I'm not interested in that, I just want the 2/2s, so I play a bunch of multicolored Rakdos cards and Gruul cards and whatever. And then this makes a boatload of 2/2s when you get to it. You're probably, if you're an aggro deck, you're not going to get to it really quickly, but you can maybe play Mox, Chrome Mox, Mox Amber then, and then you could get to this sooner. You would still have to have one of each color, and your off colors in your aggro deck would probably mean you have to play tap lands or ugly looking lands for your curve out beatdown thing. So I don't know if that even translates well to this has something to actually do, just because it gets harder and harder to cast it the more you deviate from, whatever this is. So I don't know. At that point, one would say just play Joda. The legendary Joda that makes all your legendaries win the game the moment you cast it. This one is like, you have to have them in play, but they don't suddenly become 14/14s when you cast your commander like Joda. And they also have to tap to crew instead of swing at your opponent. And you made some tapped 2/2s. And all of that's like kind of weird. I would say if we had Amulet of Vigor to make the 2/2s untapped, I just wouldn't play it, because I don't really care that they're tapped. Again, you would prefer them not to be, but because they're not, I'm not going to go out of my way to play cards just so that is the case, that they're untapped. It really doesn't. The 2/2s being tapped or untapped, I don't believe would have changed a single game I played, win or lose. It is kind of nice with all the triomes to maybe have Amulet, but still, I'm not worried about that at all. I'm really not. I had Burgeoning in here for a second, but I'm not sure where the lands want to be with that one. It might be 43, 44, maybe 45. I really don't know. You can easily play it in 40, but you're getting a little bit more maybe high rolly with it at 40. I haven't had an issue running it at 40, but I want to make room for just more multicolored permanents for this to matter. Yeah, you also can't play multicolored spells like instants and sorceries. They have to be permanents. They have to sit in play and hang out in play. Some of the better multicolored permanents like Binding and Awaken, they don't stay in play, which is really unfortunate, but they are removal, and that is kind of, rather impactful, I'd say. So Leyline, we ended up keeping it. I don't think this, in the long run, is worth it. I would probably just place any other thing ever than this. It does play really well with this card, but it really doesn't have... You just don't have to do that. You really don't have to do that. This is a rare, so it's actually obtainable. It's not a mythic or anything. So I mean, you can play this, but I just kind of want it to be anything else, really. Explosive Vegetation, Baleful Strix, just anything, honestly. It's only insane, quote unquote insane, when I'm casting this and then crewing it with the now what are multicolored 2/2 robots, so that when this would swing, it would draw like 11 cards, if not more. But that is quite the build up to a situation you're building up to that I never did, right? And this didn't change that. So I never actually swung with this. This wouldn't, like, this could just be something that helps you actually station it or anything at all. So I really just don't agree with that card. But we played it a couple of games and it felt okay. It is sort of like a Chromatic Lantern at the end of the day, if you want to have no issues with your mana base. But again, the green takes care of that for you. You don't have to worry about that whatsoever. I don't believe I was ever color screwed. I think I color screwed myself twice, but it was on accident. I misread the visual noise that are the triomes, and I'm like, oh, this one was that one. I had the colors, but I didn't. So I did missequence my triomes a couple times. Always want to really make sure you don't do that, obviously. The mana base was fine. It was okay. I don't think I had a single issue with it. If you don't get Gemstone the cheese way, then it is a colorless land, which can be kind of awkward. You could also play Dryad, right? I ended up not playing it, but you could just play Dryad of the Elysian Grove, right? I'm running the Chromatic Lantern. If I don't have lands for this, then it's just kind of a weird Chromatic Lantern. But, sometimes you do have other lands. It's not a landfall deck, but sometimes I can genuinely play more than one land a turn beyond the first 2 or 3 turns. Sometimes you still can, right? But I don't have, Brainstorm and stuff. Maybe Seek New Knowledge. Actually, yeah, now that I'm thinking of it. I like Seek New Knowledge so much, so biased to it, but Brainstorm is probably just better than Seek New Knowledge, right? We have a ton of shuffle effects, yeah. This would make Burgeoning and Dryad just better. So, this is another reason to actually run Burgeoning. The cards themselves that the multicolored cards were fine, right? You don't need this to be 11 or even 4. 3 or 2 is just fine, right? So you might as well play just what I think is about the best of the best, multicolored wise, at least in where we were going, archetype wise and stuff. I think this is the best. Profane Procession had 2 opportunities to be really good, but one of them I got dunked on by a random top deck counterspell, and then I lost. But if I left up mana for this, it would have been really scary for my opponent, but I just didn't, because I think I top decked this, and then they randomly top decked a counterspell and I lost. But yeah, this is okay in those slow, grindy matchups, and sometimes you have those games, right? They do exist. Not too often anymore, but grindy, slow games, they're out there to be had. We had games that lasted time. It wasn't just all turn 3 whatevers. Mirari's Wake doesn't follow right into that many crazy things, so this could just be Hour of Promise. I call it Hour of Parmesan because it's funny, but like Hour of Promise could always get the World Tree, and they can't really kill Hour of Promise like they can kill this. But if you untap with this, you go right up to like 10 or 12, whereas Hour of Promise is like you untap with it, you go from 7 or 8. Definitely a little bit different, but 7 or 8 is about good enough to cast the entire deck anyways, right? But this is a multicolored permanent, so I think you take the hit. But I did play this and it did die, right? You can't kill Hour of Promise. This got killed when I cast it. That is a huge downside. Div Mizzet, you can't kill the cards they put to their hand without like discard spells or something. Whereas this, you can kill everything that I play before I play it, and then when it's in play, and also after. So it's always vulnerable. Always vulnerable. And it's definitely something you can't play into. I think you just have to have it play alongside your strategy. I don't think you can spearhead your entire strategy and just really expect this to be super useful. Format's just not friendly to it, and honestly, it's not really friendly to itself. There's just a lot of things it's trying to ask of you, and it all requires your opponent also doesn't make you interact with them in a way that hinders you in any way. Because if you hiccup or, you know, stutter just a little bit when you were all in on this, you're probably screwed, right? If you're not all in on this and your opponent makes you stutter or misstep, or you have to take turns off to actually interact with your opponent and not play mono green ignores you strategies, then you're surviving. But like if you're all in on it and it doesn't work out, you're not gonna recover, you know. All right, that's all I have. There's fireworks going off because of course there is. All right, let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.